All right, and we are live. What's up, guys? John Sintes here, Cutternation podcast number 32. Got some awesome guests, but first, don't forget, go check out Brain Armor. They got some awesome stuff on some DHA. They just got a brand new product they sent me called Focus Fix. It's a little powder drink that goes in there. It's going to help you get focused, help you recover, and do better. Don't forget to go to check out my online store. Get yourself some Cutternation gear, some J bands, weighted balls, some flush bands. You're going to go from there. All that link in the description. You guys know where everything is. But without further ado, we got the guys from Baseball Rebellion here. I appreciate you guys coming on. Why don't you introduce yourself and let everybody know about where you're from? Most everybody on the internet knows who you are, but go ahead.
Sure. My name is Chaz Pippin. I'm the owner of Baseball Rebellion. I focus on the hitting side. And what we do is we take everything that a hitter does, from their bat path to their exit velocity and everything. We take all the guessing out of hitting instruction because of our technology. So that way we know if something that we're doing is making a hitter better or worse. And if it's worse, then we stop. And if it's better, then we keep going. So that's what Baseball Rebellion is all about. 7.5 years ago, we were doing this in a barn, and now we're doing this in a 13,000 square foot facility with 5 hit tracks and a Rapsodo and beautiful cages and a 4,000 square foot weight room. So we've done pretty well, and we're going to continue to do that.
Dave Shinsky from Pennsylvania, moved down here in 2015. Loved what Chaz was doing with the movements. So taking over the lead instruction of the pitching side has been great the last 3 years. So yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I really appreciate you guys taking a little time out of your day and coming on the podcast, let everybody know about what awesome stuff you guys do. You said you have 5 hit tracks. That's awesome. On a Rapsodo. It sounds like a really great data-driven approach to what you guys are trying to do over there. And I noticed one of the podcasts or some stuff that you guys had before, a lot of the hit tracks that you do. Now, when you guys apply your hit tracks to your hitters, is that something that you combine with other technologies like Rapsodo in live situations, or do you guys like to keep them independent and then just kind of see how it goes?
The short answer is we haven't yet, as much as we're going to be able to do. So we're actually getting our 6th hit tracks pretty soon. So as of right now, nobody in the country other than us even has 4. So every ball that's hit in our facility or thrown in our facility is tracked by something. We use blast motion as well. We've tested some Garmin sensors, which are actually pretty cool. They're new that a lot of people haven't seen, for the bats as well. So we have done some live at bats. One of my clients has a Rapsodo hitting that we set up inside the pitching cage to go with the Rapsodo pitching. So that was kind of cool. But the hit tracks is the big main way that we track what our hitters do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rapsodo on the pitching side. Rapsodo is probably the gold standard we use. We use the Diamond Kinetics ball, and they're pretty similar. Like I said, before I used Pocket Radar, tracking every single pitch that the kids throw, not just off the mound, but in warm up and playing catch is pretty significant and important.
And you just newest Pocket Radar thing, what's that called?
Smart Coach. So basically, there's 3 different models. There's the red button. That's the first model. Then there's the Coach, and now I got the Smart Coach, which actually is connected to Bluetooth, so you can take video, and there's a little sensor in the video that actually pops up with the radar. So when you're doing instruction, you can basically look at the video along with every pitch is recorded. You can go back and look at the history. So yeah, it's really really new technology, but it's very important when we use it on a day-to-day basis.
It's really smart because we can make like recruiting videos for pitchers so much easier now, because you're not, got a tripod for the camera and then a tripod for a stalker, and you're trying to, finagle it all so you can still see the pitcher and see the radar gun and all that stuff. Like the Smart Coach fixes that and just projects it right up on the video so you can send that out. And Pocket Radar is pretty well accepted as something that people know is accurate and has been great to us.
Like you said, with the stalker and the Pocket Radar, there's no difference between numbers there.
That's great. Yeah, I was actually thinking. I think I saw that on your guys' page, the Smart Coach and the stuff, and I was thinking about picking one up myself for med balls and plyo balls at the facility that I'm.
Yeah, it's really affordable too.
Yeah,
much more affordable, and we highly recommend it. Frankly, we should sell it. Yeah, well, we're gonna sell it if we don't now. I mean, it's really nice.
Yeah, I think it's tremendous being able to track just anything. And Chaz, I was talking to Dave just a second ago, and at the facility that I have, we have a stalker with a screen behind it, and every throw that we make into the net is from our plyo warm-ups to our throws, that everything that we have that we throw over there really helps the clients understand, like, if they're doing something right or wrong, especially when we get into some of the drills that I'm trying to get guys to get the feels and the stuff from there. Now, with the have you ever even thought about that, doing the Rapsodo? I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Johansson Baseball. Buddy of mine, when I went up to a facility with them up in Chicago, he was combining his hit tracks and his Rapsodo data for his live ABs and using them kind of as a review at the end of it, where he was giving, okay, when you were throwing like this pitch was here, on the pitching side of it, this pitch was 83 miles an hour at this location. When he hit it right here, this is why it went over the fence, because you missed middle or the ball didn't spin enough, stuff like that.
Well, HitTrax can do most of that on its own, even without Rapsodo. It'll give vertical break. It'll give in-live at-bats. It'll give speed of the pitch, location of the pitch. So while it doesn't give the spin of the pitch, currently it gives us enough, in my opinion, it gives us enough to know, okay, well, if this pitch was middle and got hammered, the spin rate wasn't the issue. Just you threw it in the middle. So, obviously now if we get somebody that's a little higher level on the pitching side against a hitter who's a little bit higher level, we're going to be able to do that. That's not an issue. We tend to not do that as much just because HitTrax isn't quite as portable. That being said, we've got 2 portable HitTraxes now. So setting it up, it's just a matter of, time. Yeah. Like now we're talking to you instead of setting that up. But I mean, we easily could set that up later today, so that's not something that's holding us back anymore.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Yeah. And everything on your website, from the items that you guys are selling and what you're trying to do. Why don't we go over some of the stuff that we have? Go back to your website here, because you have some very interesting hitting stuff as far as the tools, and I'd like for you to if you could go over that.
Sure. So the Rebels rack is probably the best product we've ever come up with at this point. We've sold tens of thousands of them all over the world. We got sales in 17 countries in all 50 states. Without the rack, we wouldn't be in this building. We wouldn't have the HitTrax. Nothing would be what it is without that product. Essentially, as you know, with pitching, everything's going, weighted balls and weighted bats for hitting and all that kind of stuff. Well, if you can speed up the body, then the implement speeds up as well. So we're using the rack to teach proper scap loading and rotation for hitters, as well as other tools as well. And that's allowed us to get some of the top exit velocities and launch angles and distances in the country, and allowed us to have 30 guys drafted in the last 5 years out of a facility that has no teams, and until 2 weeks ago, no strength conditioning at all. So that was all skill-based draft picks. And we've had some pitchers in that realm as well. It's just always interesting when I hear people say, well, we work with, 100 pros, or what, they don't do any skill with the pros. They just lift weights. And lifting weights is important, but you can't lift your way to the big leagues. So we do all skill work, or did all skill work. Now we do lifting as well. So we're more of a one-stop shop. As far as the bat drag buster, it used the concept of reactive neurotraining and feeding the mistake and making hitter who drags the bat actually keep their own elbows apart, as opposed to letting that elbow race ahead. The drive developer is a really, really old product that people seem to like. And then obviously the launch angle tee is our newest product. And we just did a benefit last, Saturday night. We gave $25,000 to a charity that 3D prints prosthetics for kids in developing countries for free. So the guy helped me develop the launch angle tee and helped me finish the top. His charity is called Life Enabled. If you want to check that out, that's Life, the letter N, Abled, and they 3D print prosthetics in Guatemala, Nicaragua, all these different places. So the launch angle tee itself is responsible for hundreds of kids being able to walk, play soccer, ride a bike, you know, have a normal life, which is really, really cool. So that's the coolest product is the launch angle tee. We have 7 3D printers in a room, 5 now, printing 24/7, just making launch angle tees and adapters, and they're guaranteed for life. So we feel really, really good about those. And we've got some cool pitching things coming out in the very near future that we can't quite divulge yet, but we're partnering with some big time people to do that as well.
That's awesome. That's tremendous. Yeah, I you know, that makes sense. The Johansson baseball launch angle tee, he puts on stuff on it every day, and his, you know, controversial post yesterday of him pointing up to the top of the cage was one of my favorites. It's you know, I was you know, small town guy playing ball short first. You know, we had 3 pitchers on my high school team. It was me, the first baseman, and the right fielder. So we just kind of rotated around, and hitting was my high school coach was a former double A infielder, and everything was up the middle, right side, hit and runs. You know, the stuff that ends baseball careers is what I try.
Yeah, the stuff that doesn't work.
And it never made sense to me, you know, when you're seeing stuff, and I'm a little older, I'm 32, so it's watching what you're seeing on TV with, you got the Yankees and all those guys, and then you have the situation of what happens now where you're just seeing, you know, I've seen grown men say, hey, hit a hard ball to the ground to the right side, and I understand it to a point, but on the pitching side, I was even told, like, pitch to contact. And in the strategy of baseball, or if you were playing in the backyard, I don't know why you would ever let anybody hit the ball. It just doesn't make sense in the logic side of my brain. Like, I can understand you're trying to pitch to contact or trying to force a situation, but as far as what happens in the game itself, like, I'm trying to strike out everybody I can and try to throw as best pitches as I possibly can. Over with you guys, with your philosophies with pitching and hitting, it seems like you guys have obviously we just talked about a second ago, and a more advanced, like, philosophy of what you're trying to get your guys to do. Could you go over with hitting and pitching what the philosophies are you guys try to bring to the Baseball Rebellion?
Well, you just said it. You know, pitch to contact, stay on top of the ball, stay back. Well, what do those mean actually? Like when you're giving coaching cues and you can't tell a kid what you actually mean by what you're doing, and they can't you know, translate that. How do you get through to those kids? So again, it's a mental side where you basically are trying to develop an individual, and everyone's different. So again, like, what do those cues mean? So what we do is we video. We do a lot of video. We use the Rapsodo. We use the like you said, when every throw is calculated with the pocket radar or the stalker, and what did you see? What did you see there? What did you feel there? So our philosophy is, again, movement. So again, when something doesn't feel right, we video it, we show the kid it, and basically, you know, set up drills and whatever we need to do to kind of fine tune that mentally, internal. So then it basically comes out in their throw when we're back up on the mound. Yeah,
and he said a key word right there is internal. So there's this big craze for external cues, and I don't know where you fall on that. And it's fine if you're a big external cues guy, or anybody else is, to each their own. But I mean, if I take my 5-year-old son and I lay him on a bench press and I say, hey man, bench 100 pounds, do it. And I just keep telling him to do that. It's not going to make him bench 100 pounds, right? I've got to figure out a way to get him to understand how to move that weight. So for him, he has to remain alive, do push-ups, and lift weights when he's older. That's the only way. You know, if you get a kid and he's constantly hitting grounders, you're like, well, hit it higher, hit it farther. Well, if that kid could do that, why the hell is he coming to lessons? Like, he needs help. And, you know, when you look at truly, truly elite coaches, I mean, they're breaking down footwork, they're breaking down movement patterns, they're breaking down all this stuff. They're building a pattern, and then that pattern is able to be externally cued. So we really focus on the internal turn quality or throw quality, or whether it's an overhand rotation or an underhand rotation, whether you're throwing or pitching or hitting. You have to build that turn within these athletes. Even inside pros, And we do that without actually throwing pitches or hitting baseballs. And so we've actually kind of coined the term non-invasive training, which is a really big concept that we're trying to really take public. And, you know, for instance, we've got 3 or 4 pitchers training here now who have trained other places in the past. I'm not going to say where. And basically they're like, I haven't thrown without pain in 4 years, and now I can do that. And they've been here a week. And it's about how they're moving while they're throwing. They're AAA, AA, big league, whatever. They're already good throwers, right? They can already generate velo, generate movement, but they can't do it without pain. They can't recover fast enough. So they're doing something wrong that's making their elbow or their shoulder bark at them. So our job is to make sure that they're training properly. And I don't mean in the weight room. I mean with preparing to throw or preparing to hit, to be able to do the movements that are supported by the body, and they know they're supported because it no longer hurts, and their velos are still where they want to be. So, or even higher. So with our hitters, for instance, if we're working on guys hitting a low pitch or elevating the inside pitch, and they can't properly transition from hip hinge to side bend, well, they can't learn that by hitting a bunch of balls. They're 22 years old. If they could learn that by hitting a bunch of balls, they would already freaking learned it. You know, I've had so many coaches or players say, hey, well, they want me to pull the ball in the air, or they want me to drive the ball backside better. All right, awesome. You know, how? Well, they didn't really tell me that. So now we have to figure it out for them and show them how to actually do those movements.
Yeah, and it stems from, again, you played baseball. We played baseball. I feel it every day. You know, 4 years ago when I learned these movements and how to move properly, I just was like, dang, there's another way to throw a baseball. Like, there's a thought process behind this.
I don't just get up. I don't just get up here and say I'm better than you because I can play college football and I'm playing AA. Deal with it. Like, they're all good at that level.
It was amazing. And on a daily basis, playing catch with my kids, throwing to our high school hitters, our pro guys, I never feel pain because of my internal kind of thought process, pitch to pitch. And it's not just, you know, at bat to at bat. It's literally pitch to pitch. So again, coming into a routine, even at age 8 years old, that's what we're teaching these kids to, again, big leaguers, right? 4 years ago, 5 years ago before I came here, if I would have said, you know, I'm going to do a lesson with a big leaguer, I would have been scared out the wazoo. But right now it's just like, again, like, you know, going to work every day, teaching them movements. Yeah. Like I teach an 8-year-old, I'm going to teach a big leaguer.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm a little the same. I worked with Tyler Wagner recently, and we kind of went over the same thing, and he kind of brought up the same thing. And the word that you guys use is similar to mine. Is I use the word tension with throwing. Is that you shouldn't feel a lot of tension or drag or anything from there. It should be, you know, things should be connected and rotating together. And the word I like to use is twist. That was one of the big things that helps me myself, and I throw with my clients. I mean, just Friday I had a guy who came in, and just the last outing he had in his fall stuff, he just felt he was missing up and in a lot. He was very sore in the front of the shoulder. And so we, as a recovery, we just kind of threw. We just kind of flat-footed, rotated through, and tried to get him to feel like what you were talking about. Like, we didn't even worry about speed. It was like, see if you can feel the ball come off your hand where you're sequencing correctly, not leading with your face, your chest, having your arm drag, and trying to stay, keeping the hand orbiting around the body as you throw the ball. I really like those cues as far as what we're doing and everything. But the biggest thing is, like you were saying too, is I try to make sure that the guys that I'm working with, that they feel that, you know, that you're allowed to throw the ball as hard as you can, where you want to, and pain-free. Like, those are things that are possible. But, you know, with all this swing up stuff, and you see a lot of the things that these kids are taught at a younger age that you see just create, for me at least, just create massive issues. Is a swing up arm path something that you guys run into also when you guys over there that run into issues?
Online in-person evaluations for sure. I mean, hence baseball rebellion, right? It's like, we're not rebelling against baseball. That's what's being taught half the time to the kids, and it just carries over, man. A lot of times we you have to clean up, and that's the first thing we do here is upper body stuff. With the arm swing, but again, yeah, cleaning up those little cues that have been kind of taught over time. And again, we like kids that have never seen instruction, kind of a blank canvas, natural movement. So
tabula rasa.
Yeah, for sure. Well, guys, I don't want to keep you too much. I really appreciate it. What else do you guys got coming up? We'll end it on these right here. You guys got anything coming up in your area? I know we talked about you guys are coming to the ABCA. Are you guys going to the Pitchapalooza or anything either?
We're going to ABCA. We go to NFCA every year. We go as launch angle tee, but I'll be at both places, and some of our other guys will as well. We're super excited about that. The one thing, when are you putting this pod out? You know,
it's live right now. It'll be up right after this. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, how about this? I'll tell you guys something that nobody else has heard yet. We are coming out with Baseball Rebellion Premium very, very soon, and that is going to feature everything from hitting information, drills, pitching information, drills, breakdowns of our clients, of pros, of all kinds of stuff, but also strength conditioning, arm care, nutrition. So basically, it's going to be everything you could ever need in a one-stop shop. It's going to be extremely affordable, and we're going to be putting out between 15 and 20 brand new articles every single month. That is going to be super awesome, and the people we've told about it are really, really excited about it, and I'm putting it out to you now. We're going to have a big release on Baseball Rebellion probably in the next few days, where I'll be talking about what Baseball Rebellion Premium is and how valuable it's going to be. And there's other sites out there now that are putting out things, content that is paid content, and we think that we can bring more to the table than just hitting or just pitching or just strength conditioning or just arm care. We're going to be able to do all of it. So we're super excited about it with our strength conditioning coaches over at Diamond Fit Performance. We just added a 4,500 square foot weight room here with 14 squat racks. So we're very, very excited about that. And we're excited about some of the new stuff Dave's got coming out for throwing. We're partnering with Duke. So we're excited about that. So if you want velo programs that actually have major doctors and major physical therapists behind it from one of the smartest medical schools in the country, you're going to be able to get that from us as well. So we're super, super excited about those two things. And you'll be hearing all about that in the very near future.
That's tremendous. I'm excited to hear about it. You guys, I read your articles and a lot of the stuff that you guys put out, and we're really right around the same, mindset and a lot of the same stuff that we go over, especially with, with what works. It really sounds like that's what, but all of us try to keep it simple to the point. We're like, you know what, like this works as a philosophy, like the people who are kind of running baseball nowadays, it's so funny on how, Bud Selig gets out and we kind of have a transition to where now guys are getting out of the dugout. They're having fun. They're bat flipping. They're high-fiving. They're making it, we got cameras on the field, people running into camera guys after hitting home runs. I mean, even the ball game last night was tremendous. And every one of those home runs, you get a stat cast with the exit velo and all that stuff. And, you hear Smoltz even say it. He's like, I don't know about all these numbers. It doesn't really make sense, blah, blah, blah to me. And I'm like, dude, you are the problem. You are literally the problem. You are echoing things to all these dads that are just going like, you don't need to hit the ball at the top of the cage. You need to stay through it right up the middle. It's just, it cracks me up of how all of that stuff works. So
well, no, you're exactly.
Go ahead.
You're exactly right. And the one last thing I want to say is, any coaches in the area, any coaches not in the area, if you want to come into Baseball Rebellion, it is free. You can watch whatever you want. You're welcome anytime. We have a constant open door policy. The answer is always yes. So reach out to us on Twitter at BR Rebellion or on Instagram at Baseball Rebellion, Facebook Baseball Rebellion, and YouTube Baseball Rebellion as well. But at the Twitter and the Instagram are at BR Rebellion, and the Instagram is at Baseball Rebellion. So please reach out to us.
And for free content, we have a bunch of articles on the site. That's baseballrebellion.com.
Hundreds of articles.
That doesn't include the BR Premium. So again, go check out our website.
Cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, hopefully I'll run into you guys in January. I have an idea that I haven't really seen a lot of people done, but I've done it once with the Yugo Pro guy, which is called a Play Catch Podcast, where I slap a couple lavalier mics on and then go out into a parking lot or whatever with a couple cameras and just throw with some guys. And You know, I've done it twice. The other one, I had to delete it because of the throwing quality, which was kind of hilarious of the guy that I was throwing with. And I was like, I said,
Do it with a football. Yeah. Do it with a football. Dave will throw it. You throw it in the
like a football would probably be that would be the hilarious like weighted ball thing. We're like, oh, we're throwing a weighted ball, you know, and you know, even John over there at Yugo Pro, it was kind of funny. He was like, wait, you want me to throw? And I'm like, dude, I'm talking like 20 feet, and you know how it is when we start throwing for 20 minutes, I start backing up a little bit. He's kind of chasing me a little bit as I start backing up. Trying to keep the distance the same, you know, it was pretty funny. So, but guys, I appreciate it, man. I look forward to all the stuff that you're putting out. If I can help with anything, you know, please don't hesitate to ask. Send, you know, if I can repost or anything from there, whatever I can help with you guys. I love all the stuff you guys are doing. I guess you would say that I'm a rebellion. I'm a part of the rebellion because it's definitely worth it. It works. I'm with it. I know what's going on. And if anybody's out there that wants to check out their website with all the free stuff, you can check out all their articles and all their stuff. We'll have a link in the description below. But the launch angle tee, you know, that's awesome that you get 3D printers, that you're about the tech and everything. And yeah, so you got anything else you guys want to say?
No, thanks so much for having us. And I meant what I said. Coaches, call us, reach out to us, tweet us, DM us, whatever. We're here all the time. We want to help you, and we don't want any credit. We just want to help the game.
It goes same with me. You guys know I've already got a couple people that have come by the facility over here in San Diego. So hit me up. I appreciate it, guys. It's been awesome. I'm looking forward to meeting you guys when we get to that point. And you guys have a great day. Don't forget to grab your body armor over there and get your J-bands, weighted balls, all on my website. Link will be in the description. You can grab some awesome Cutternation gear. New hats should be coming out soon, as well as some other tees. But, you know, I'm just trying to keep the fight. You know, I got fun tees like throw hard, don't think, just throw. There's not enough pictures like good tees. Like I got another one that says strikeout season, strikeout savage. Like it's just there's always drop bombs. I mean, I see you over there, Dave. You know, like there's not enough like really cool pitchers t-shirts, and you know,
send me a t-shirt and I'll wear one in my drills.
You always need lifting shirts, XXL right here, bro.
Oh, I gotcha. These tri-blend like next level things are awesome.
They're great. They're absolutely great.
Yeah, those are my favorite. They don't smell. I try to tell everybody, man, they don't smell or anything, and they're beautiful. So, all right, guys, appreciate it. It sounds like we're gonna have a good time in January. Have a good one. Don't forget to go check out Baseball Rebellion. And one last thing, throw hard.